What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Shane Rowe. Now, yes, I did get my hair cut. I was looking a little bit rough, I can admit it. But if you live in Malta, head over to Brickakara, Anthony's Barbershop in Brickakara. Ask for Emilio, tell him I sent you, Shane. And he's gonna sort you out. Best barber on the island, hands down. The man's a magician with the clippers. And no, I'm not getting paid to say this. I just think he's a really, really good barber and I want to support him. So go to Anthony's and go book Emilio. But guys, we had our last game of the preseason tour right before the season starts next week. And what a game it was. I thought we left all the action in Lens, but no. There was a lot of things to take away from this game, man. There were some questions that were left to be answered as well too, but there was a lot to be taken from this game. A lot of action, definitely. It ended 1-1, but it wasn't a 1-1 Sunday stroll in the park, the little friendly before opening game of the season. No, these boys was playing. There was yellow cards, red cards, tricks and flicks. There was early Harry drama, and there was late Harry drama. There was even Fergie time, last second goal drama. I mean, on Twitter, guys, go follow your boy on Twitter. JTJ Productions, they said, one thing we didn't see a lot of during Ten Hag's first season was a lot of last-minute winners and equalizers outside of Casemiro and Garnacho. Now, guys, I'm being honest with you. I don't even remember what game we had a last-minute winner or equalizer with Garnacho and Casemiro linking up. So let me know in the comments below. We'd love to see us grab more last-minute winners and create more iconic moments because it's football heritage for this club. He's true, he's not lying, but I answered, and I would just rather us win 3 or 4. Stress for 90 minutes. And it was a good game, but there were some questions that were left to be answered. There was a couple new questions that came up. So I decided that I wanted to make my top 5, let's say, observations throughout this preseason tour. So here we go. Number 5, let the kids play. If they are good enough, then they are old enough. And from what I can see, these kids can play. Hannibal, I'm sure, should, providing attitudes are in the right place, should get some game time. He replaced Donny at halftime or right after the halftime. And I think that's probably the last time we're going to see Donny in a United t-shirt, which, you know, it's a bit bittersweet, but he needs to go reinvigorate his career, and if he can do it somewhere else, then good on him, good luck to him, and I wish him all the best. He played a very, very good preseason, but you would think it's just kind of like him and the club putting him in the shop window to get a better deal and to showcase his talents, you know. Gore, with Amrabat in the picture, he might not get a run, but he looked pretty good. He held his own against Athletic Bilbao and probably was one of the better performers in the first half. He played alongside Eriksen and Donny. And Eriksen, listen, like I said in my last video, Eriksen has his strengths. And I don't doubt that there are going to be a lot of games where we're going to use Eriksen. But as far as playing 60 games, 50 games even, a season, I don't think he's going to do that. So, especially when the game is a bit too fast for him, you know? So, we're going to need to bring in some of the youngsters, give them a run at the first teamers and see how well that they can do. Hugo, I would have liked us to send him on loan, but the truth is right now we don't have a recognized striker. Yes, we literally just bought Holland, but he's not fit. He's going to be missing a few games for us before he's starting. Martial, as we know, he's always broken. And Rashford can do the job, but Rashford isn't a number 9. So we're going to probably need to use Hugo, or I think by default, you should at least give him his fair shot. He is the only other recognized number 9. Why not? Why not? Which leads me to number 4. Sancho is not a striker. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Sancho is not a striker, which has now given us a Sancho problem, because we're using him as this makeshift number 9, false 9, but now we just bought Rasmus Højlund. We have Martial when he's fit, and I'm sure the third option would probably be to put Rashford up front now, considering how well or how much depth we have on the wings. So we don't necessarily need to keep Rashford out wide. Is he going to play midfield? We just bought Mason Mount. We're going to be looking at getting Amrabat in, and Maino definitely has a spot reserved for him when he comes back into the pitch. So what do we do now with Sancho? And I know you're going to say, no, but Sancho's a right winger. Sancho's a technical right winger. Sancho is not no speed demon right winger that we would prefer. When you look at Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho, all these are speed demons. And of course, Pellistri. And with him emerging as a contender for that right side, to be honest, he can play anywhere across the front. And I know some of you might not want to hear this, but what happens if we even bring Greenwood back into the picture? All these players, I think, come before Sancho on that right side. He looks sharp, he looks good, but now what do we do with him? Where does he go, and what position will he play? So that is another question that I'm asking. You guys let me know your opinions. What do you think we should do with Sancho? How is he going to fit into this team? Again, with players stepping up, is he somehow getting forced out, not even on his own accord? You guys let me know. Moving on, number 3. Throughout this entire preseason, one of the things I have noticed is that we need strength in depth. We need a good 22 players. The players that we have right now, when you shift them out and bring players in and bring players out, take players out and put players in, you see a definite drop in the quality of the players. And I know I've said previously that if the kids can play, let them play and you bring them in. But you have to have a balance. You have to have the right amount of second choice players to bring them into the team and still not have the quality drop off so much. The good thing about having the youths playing with the first teamers so much is that they get to see how we play. They get to understand the system and not just see the players play. You can swap the players out and you will have a less crisper pass. No one can pass the ball like Fernandes. Let's be honest. But at least they know the system. At least they understand the system. When you look at all the teams that's challenging for all the big titles, they need to have quality. They have to have quality. The third center back, the fourth center back, the second choice defensive midfielder needs to be almost pushing the first choice defensive midfielder for his position. And this is what we need to have, and we don't have it, and we need to address this as soon as possible. The transfer market is still open for another 3 weeks. We are rumored to be in for another central midfielder, providing, Donny leaves, Fred is on his way out as well too. And that will strengthen us. We do need to strengthen the entire squad, the whole, at least 16 to 17 players worth of high quality players. Number 2, Pellistri. I messed up your name the last time. I might be messing it up now again too, but I'm really trying to make sure I say your name properly, because we're gonna be saying it a lot more, and they're gonna be making chants for this guy, and there's gonna be songs for him. He is ready, and he is playing like a player possessed. He's definitely given the manager something to think about. And this is why I believe that Sancho is going to have a problem getting back into this team, especially when it becomes established with Rashford, Højlund, and Anthony might have a problem because Pellistri is he's the truth, man. He throughout the entire preseason tour, and I've seen different glimpses of him on loan last season, and you see him doing his thing. And every time he came on during the game, you knew he was on the pitch. He was just going at the defenders. He was getting kicked. He was getting fouled left and right, and he just got up and kept on going. Him and Garnacho are a couple for the future. And when I say for the future, I don't mean like in 2 seasons. Like if Rashford don't keep those levels up, Garnacho's going to take his spot. And this is what you want to see. You want the competition for those places. You want that if Rashford is ill or if Rashford is injured, Garnacho comes in and the levels don't stop. And Rashford is watching television like, yo, I need to make sure that when I'm back, I am on it because Garnacho is not letting me rest. And Pellistri is doing the same thing on the right side. Anthony better watch out because he has the right side by default, but this kid is coming. He's coming for that spot, and he definitely needs to get his opportunities in the first team. I think he's earned it. He's definitely earned it. If you ask me, the player of the tournament, of the preseason tournament, Pellistri. If you ask me who should be called up to the first team with a spot and kept in there, providing attitude and everything as well, out of this preseason tour and out of the junior side, Pellistri and Meno. Hannibal, obviously, he's definitely one for the future. But we knew his name before and we knew what he was capable of. Pellistri, we knew who he was, we knew he had talent, but when you see him in action, the man was the truth. The man was the truth. So this leads us to number 1. And guys, I think you know what number 1 is. Harry Kane has to leave the club. At this point, his position is almost untenable. And let me start by saying this. I don't condone booing any player of ours. I don't understand why people do this. Why are you booing a player that has to go on the pitch and go represent you? You're already getting inside of your own player's head. It's not his fault they paid 80 million for him. And if I'm being honest with you, I honestly and genuinely think that Harry Maguire is a very, very good defender. I just don't think Harry suits this system. When you think about a team like West Ham, who's in for Harry, I definitely think he should go and play for West Ham. Not because I think West Ham is a lower team. West Ham got a better stadium than we do. Have you seen the stadium? It's ridiculous. But I think that their style of play, the manager that's there, but particularly the style of play, the system of play more suits Harry. And I believe that if he goes there, he could definitely reignite his career and save his England career as well too. To be honest, I thought we bought, I'm being a bit cheeky, I thought we bought Johnny Evans because we might not buy a centre back. I'm hearing now that we're linked with a centre back, so that's a good thing. My centre back still is David Carmo. Go look him up, guys. I will say this though, the one that we're linked with is very, very close in profile. So I would like to pat myself on the back saying, I can identify a good player or somebody that we could fit in our system. But I thought we brought in Johnny because we weren't going to bring in anybody else, and Harry might leave and we wouldn't have time to replace him with the play that we needed. And when you see him playing with Harry yesterday, you could swap out. I would much rather have Johnny Evans in there beside Lindelof. And it's sad to say, but Johnny is a experienced centre back. He knows United, and I'll be happy to keep him as like a fourth centre back, but we will need to replace Harry if he leaves. But the truth is, I think it's best if Harry does leave and reignite his career somewhere else. He's in the same boat as Donny, I think. He's a bit damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Like I said, he had the early error for the goal, and then in literally the 93rd minute, he comes off with a brilliant header into Pullistry to get the goal tied up. So there is quality in the player, you know? But these are my 5 takeaways from this last preseason tour. And what do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with my list? My observations, actually. How do you think we did so far in the transfer window? Leave your comments down below, guys. And if you've been here this long, as always, thank you for rocking with your boy. I appreciate you. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe. God bless you, and GGMU.